You're welcome back. The program is Straight Talk. On the first segment, I had with me a representative of ASUU, Mr. Austin Sado. Well, on this second segment, I have with me Professor Barineme Fakae. Professor Barineme Fakae is the Vice Chancellor, River State University of Science and Technology. Well, I know you will definitely want to contribute and make your suggestions and offer solutions to this strike, the incessant strike of ASUU. Well, to do that, please, we will not pick your calls. SMS only. And the number is 081 07 381106. Please, SMS only. Thank you for your cooperation. Well, Professor Fakae, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Well, and it's also good to know that ASUU has been on strike for a while now, and it seems nothing like that is happening to the University of Science and Technology, where you administer. How did that come about? Does it mean you have all the facilities, everything, conducive atmosphere for teaching and learning to take place, for UST to still be in session? Tell us the secret.
Thank you very much.
Because I sure do know you do have a secret to that.
No, thank you very much. I think I'll have to make some clarification here.
Okay.
The point is that the River State University of Science and Technology is a regional university. It was the first University of Science and Technology and also the first state university in the country. You can understand that being a state university, the university came about by the dreams of two founding fathers, and what was it? It was that we'll be able to be the pivot for development for River State in terms of providing manpower and the knowledge on how River State will be able to steer itself to the point of sufficiency. And by the time the people of River State talked about a university, no other state had contemplated about having a university. So in that case, the River State University of Science and Technology came out of the vision that had to do with Rivers people. And that is the reason why the academic staff, the deans, the heads of department, and all the other lecturers, for now, we have taken a resolve that strike is not an option in terms of demanding things for maybe our welfare or probably anything concerning the university. And so we've had our own fair share of strikes, and I think what we've talked about is to see how we'll be able to catch up with other parts of the country. For example, if you go to the West, you see in a family they have about 5 professors. You go, up east here, you probably have the same type of reflection. But if you come to River State, you may probably just one professor, maybe in a whole local government area. Now, how are we going to meet up? We cannot meet up by not going to school. And that is what we decided to do. For now, we want to catch up with the others. Well,
some people are of the opinion that, look, ASUU is, RSUST is tired of going on strike. Well, I want to corroborate that with what you have done to ensure that our children get the best and, are at par, with their counterparts elsewhere in the world. Now, in your opinion, do you think universities are adequately funded?
Yeah, when you talk about funding cannot just be adequate. I don't know which university in the world that you would describe as being adequately funded, because there's always need, as if. But one thing you do is that what you have, you see how to manage your resources, and you try to see whether you can meet up with the primary function of why you were set up. My problem is that we are missing the point here, what were universities set up to do, and the point is this: what are we doing as universities? It's just unfortunate here that funding is left for the government alone to do. I thought we should have relationship with industry, and again, it should be possible that we should come to a point where we'll be able to develop patents which will pay, in so many other things. In some other places, they try to make sure that universities that you find around are funded, in a way that you derive benefits from your research. And that makes it that you can find two professors not earning the same salary, because they are paid based on the fact of what they are able to do. And that is exactly how I think we are missing the point. And it's becoming a little bit difficult and very confusing in terms of when we talk about university funding.
Well, there is this view that the River State University of Science and Technology is one of the foremost universities in the country. How true? What I know you will say is true. How true is this?
Now that's very, very true, because
well, and if it is true,
right,
how ICT compliant are your lecturers?
Oh, thank you very much. When we started the program of making sure we computerized our university about 2009, there was an uproar that, students even went on the street, supported by some staff who did not understand what we were doing. But we insisted because we know it is going to pay off. As it is today, our university is the only university in the country that you can have up to 12-year results online, downloadable from any part of the world. And so even those of our children who graduate from UST and travel abroad, even when their transcripts have not reached, they are able to get to the internet and then they download the student transcript. And we've gotten admission, people have gotten admission without the official transcript coming through. Now again, the people who have their children in UST will not be bothering about how to find out whether their results are correct or not. They just log onto our own website, and you are able to see your student result, your child's result. You're able to know how much school fees the child is to pay. So we have come to that point. Let me say the one that is very, very important again. Sometimes when people talk about taking exams, they say marking can be difficult. It's true. You have a class, sometimes 5,000, maybe first year, courses, the general studies that we do. We've now started going online, and the children are taking this exam right online, and then they see their result there and then. We've crowned it up now by making sure that our ceiling is totally E. About 3 senates ago, I was looking for a piece of paper to jot something. I didn't see it, because everything is totally online. The oldest professor in the university coming to Senate comes with his own iPad or his laptop. So this is real thing. So you visit the River State University of Science and Technology, you understand that we are actually the foremost university in the country.
Now you've not answered if all your lecturers are
but like what we say, you cannot drive the thing. Like I said, the whole Senate, that nobody comes to Senate with a piece of paper. Now who makes up the Senate? All the professors, all the deans, all the heads of department, and the faculty representatives. If now we're talking about those high-ranking people in the university being totally E, then you can understand that the thing runs real down.
Now, in that sense, we can actually say that RSUST is well-funded. Well, if that is the case, let me read out this. From statistics, Ghana budget 31% for education, South Africa 25%, and Nigeria 8.4%. How is this? How can this work? How can we have a lot of USTs dotted all over Nigeria?
All right. You see, what my problem is the type of general the assumptions we make. The assumptions we make is that when we are making argument, we talk about state universities and federal universities and private universities as it were. And so only when we understand this difference, then we will then know how not to generalize. I do not know how to talk about percentage as it were. What I'm looking at is what I'm supposed to have. And then I have, as a state university, make my argument to those who sponsor me. I won't know how to go and argue with federal government, because federal government has the claim that they are funding us through, the TED funds. They are funding us through PTVS. And so when you go to them and ask them to do something more, they say, the person who now started you, being your sponsor, being your state government, should be able to take care of you. And that's the reason why I think state universities, we're looking at those sponsoring them So if I have my argument, I have to go to the visitor of the university to say, I lack in this area. That is our focus. So the general thing, if I now want to say River State may make an argument based on what they put in, in education, that probably they are putting in more than the percentage that is being said. And so in that case, if I see there is an argument that has to do with federal, I'll have to look at my state first, so that I don't generalize things and then do not join others to go on strike when maybe I have a different problem.
Now, what are the things you think other universities, like I said earlier, can learn from RSUST to make things work, to make our children go to school when they're supposed to go to school, graduate when they're supposed to graduate, and come out to compete favorably with anybody, anywhere in the globe?
I think what my problem is has to do with our value system. We have not been very serious about what the whole idea of excellence. Admission period is coming, and you're going to see some people will be begging for admission when a child, didn't make what is supposed to be the cutoff mark. And one would be wondering, and again, even in terms of encouraging, students to go to school, we are probably not making systems where those who are brilliant are given scholarship, and those who are not are maybe considered in some way. When we encourage competition, then it will be possible to deal with some of the things that we are talking about. What we've tried to do in the Rivers State University of Science and Technology is to bring in now what should be the real value system. And we are making sure that those who are used to selling marks, they don't do that again. We try to monitor to make sure that we give the children the help that they need to make sure that they come out the best. Now you will now know, by the time we came to the River State University of Science and Technology in 2007, 10 years before then, children were not defending their projects. The reason was that each time they come up to do project defense, they are probably going to be attacked by some other rival cultist group. It was from 2007, 2008 that people started defending, their thesis. We tried to make the environment real academic. Right now, students are now organizing their own academic, seminars. If you go to our university today, it's competition between departments in terms of organizing academic seminars. So we try to see how to do the essential and forget about the other things that may not make up what should be academic. I think all this idea of generalizing things and so on that people go to, for example, you make mistake, and when you see all the lecturers, you say they are all ASUU. These are part of the value system. Who is that? So we have taken a resolve ourselves that we have to think about bringing in the correct value system, encourage excellence, and that's the reason why we are going on. We are believing as we are doing that, those who sponsor us, that the government will understand that we are serious. If you come to USC today, definitely, if you are anybody who is wanting to fund education, you understand that the little we have utilized that well.
Now, how the programs you have in RSUST, how have they all been accredited? What is the current status of the accreditation of programs?
Yes, I'm glad to quickly jump in to say we do not have denied programs in UST. In fact, the only professional program that was denied, which was the Met Lab Science, we have gotten accreditation, professional accreditation. We have NUC accreditation for all our programs, and so we do not have any program that is pending that is probably, denied. And God has helped us to that. We got all accreditation in 2008, and some of the programs were due for re-accreditation. We've been able to now get up to 27 programs, again re-accredited. The second batch of accreditation will come in November, and we believe we're going to struggle and get that through.
Now we know that a lot of universities are being established, and from what is happening right now with ASUU, they are, grossly, or underfunded. In your opinion, do you think there is any justification in that?
Well, the point is that there's a big argument in opening access, as it were. I think part of the reason why we are having this problem again is that we have not somehow, if I would say, deregulate education in a way. And where government is taking a big chunk and it's really difficult to carry, we are finding this as a problem. Coming to become a lecturer, I'm saying from the experience we had, we didn't think it was the best paid job, so to say, but I think lecturers should be well paid. But what I'm saying is that some persons had the calling, to teach, just like you have the calling to become a pastor and so on. It is that calling that has driven some of us on. If we are to look at our pay package, we may have some other options to take. And I think if now we are looking at calling, then there are so many other things that can go on, and probably certain things we could ignore and continue. But it will be too bad again for a government to set up an institution and then will not fund it well. That is the truth about it. And so one will be asking, these universities we are starting, we have commitment to fund that? Yes, I think they do. Because I understand the new ones, they don't want them to take more than 500 persons or so, at the time. But I am saying, if we deregulate, as it were, for each university, like we've been arguing about some type of autonomy, now if that autonomy goes to financial autonomy, you understand that then the schools will really, for example, you have to stay in to make sure that the students you have taken in can get what they pay for. And I think that if now the students come in and they are given enough scholarship, we probably could charge the appropriate fees, and then scholarship can come from government and fund, those people they're giving scholarship. In that case, each university will see what to do to make sure they remain in force. In that case, they pay for it. And I think that if now the students come in and they're given enough scholarship, we probably could charge the appropriate fees, and then scholarship can come from government and fund, those people they're giving scholarship. In that case, each university will see what to do to make sure they remain in force. In that case, you will now consider that if you close down your school, you have also lost your salary. And I think it's a difficult thing, but I think that is the way that we should start thinking, because this strike, like we see, continue to go on. It's been on for 20 years. I can assure you that in this way we are going for the next 20 years, except we think outside the box, we'll still be going on strike, and then our students will be worse off.
Well, apart from the physical, let's come back to your school now. Apart from the physical transformation process, in your school, which of course a lot of people are commending, parents are commending, students, are also commending. What can you say concerning the equipment, the academic content? That's the number of professors, associate professors, and senior lecturers of RSUST.
Yes, I think you will understand that the present regime, as it were, we've come onto what we call a rescue mission, rebuilding the school as it were. We are coming onto a type of pioneering job. Now that people understand, it took people by surprise, and they said, do you mean RSUST is not on strike? Because the school was associated to disruptions. And you also mean, do you mean there is no cultism in UST? It's already getting people surprised. So you see, we have come back and we are actually climbing. And I'm telling you, in the next few months, as it were, like now we've employed nearly 100 lecturers more. Remember that we were below that. We are also believing the appraisals we've sent out, that more persons will be turning out to be professors in the next few months ahead of us. So we are building. Now, because again that the enabling condition has been put in place, we are now having people who are coming for sabbatical from outside. I have somebody who is from Bulgaria, is with us. It's another person from Australia. Then somebody came from West Indies. I just have a professor of accountancy that have come from US. So we are increasing the international content, of our university. The reason is that as they come in there, they find enabling condition. Nobody's going to harass them to take their phones like as it were before. They will not dodge because of any gunshot. So I think we are building up, and I think UST in the next few years will definitely come out of the woods.
Well, that brings me to this question that in 2012, your school was rated 19th, out of 107 recognized tertiary institutions in Nigeria. And based on some of the things you have said, what is the magic?
Well, it's not for us again.
Because I think there is a one somewhere.
Yeah, no, for us it was just to stay focused, because it was actually a feat, as it were. Imagine us rising from number 86 to number 19th, within a short period. We celebrated with thanksgiving to God, because nobody ever thought we would get on there. And that's the reason why we're just staying focused. One of the things we've done is to enshrine academic, what we call quality assurance, making sure that we are teaching well, and making sure also that those who take exams actually get the marks they merit. We are using several systems, and that is the reason why, again, we are doing online examinations, because in that case, it is totally the human factor disappears from it, and the child gets what he should get. And then if a child is number one in the class, he should actually shine outside towards number one. So these are the things we are put in place. Increasingly, again, we are also trying to enshrine discipline. The truth is that if you are caught in UST now, in any act of misconduct, you are shown the way out. And we've also tried to do, one thing we operate is that for those who feel they want to withdraw their services for reasons best known to them, the River State government has instructed our council to operate a no work, no pay. So if you decide not to work, you are not paid. So you see that anybody who is there taking up anything to do understands that there is a reason, and that we have now finally changed that there's it there. Let me tell you something about this strike as it. When anybody announces there's a strike, some people go without even thinking or even reasoning and even finding the reasons. The reason is that once they go, they know they are going to be paid at home. But if people were allowed to think and reason and also understand that there are consequences, then we will decide on the right thing to do. That is what UST have decided to do. The council has empowered the management to do that. We have support from government to make sure we bring the school back on track.
Now, well, based on that, finally, of course, for your school lecturers not to go on strike, it means maybe there's a cordial relationship. What has it been all this while?
Yes, we have to make sure. One very nice place to be is where you call, the university, academic community, where superior argument should take place. And again, yes, we are trying. I don't think our lecturers are badly paid. I must say, we are not the worst in the country. We are paid, better than others. And I think those around and the interaction we have, makes it possible for us to have this community.
Well, thank you so very much. RSUST is our own, and we are so excited that our children are still in school. Kudos to you and your officers. Well, this is how much we can take on today's program, believing you have been educated. Keep it with us, same time, same station, next week, when we bring yet another informative and educative topic. Till then, from me is goodbye, stay blessed. And for our sons and daughters who are at home right now as a result of the strike, please don't dabble into things that you will regret in future. You have enough time to go through your studies and all that. Till then, stay blessed and goodbye.
Thank you.
Stop that camera for me.